Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Sagi Fogway podcast. Starting a few minutes early here, better early than late. Um, if you are watching it live, you're welcome. If you're watching the video, you're also welcome and feel free to share. Today is a great day. It's another exciting episode of the healthcare division. We had one last Thursday, and we're doing it a week later again. Just stay tuned because we're going to have a wonderful time with these sessions. Very educational, very informative. So if you're someone who just needs a little just a few minutes here and there to soak up some information. That's what this is going to be about. Talking, and we're zooming in on healthcare professionals because healthcare professionals, we do a lot for the community. We do a lot for our patients. We do a lot for family members, but there's no one taking care of us. We are known as healthcare professionals to go out, even if we're bleeding, we'll wrap it up and we'll be helping someone else without thinking about that wound that's oozing some blood. But we have to get to that point now where we're taking care of ourselves to make sure that we're doing what they say on the plane, put your mask on before you help someone else. Because if we don't do that, we're going to help. We're not saying that healthcare professionals shouldn't go out and help people. That's not what we're saying here. We're just saying that take a minute, take a step back to actually make sure that you're also taking care of yourself. Because by the time you look up from the bedside, by the time you look up from the field, by the time you look up from whatever healthcare setting that you work in, time has gone by, some months have gone by, years have gone by, and you have nothing to show for. I'm going to put some music. We're having some technical difficulty with our guest, but I'm going to go ahead and put on the music again, and then I'll be right back with us. I can try, but I don't know if I can. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, okay. All right, guys, I'm back. Let's make sure you can see me, hear me. Yes. So, like I was saying at the beginning, before I got pulled away, I was just saying that healthcare professionals, we do a lot for the community. We do a lot for our patients. We do a lot for our family members because you have those family members who corner you to do a quick consultation in the alley or in the backyard. Like, hey, can you look at this mole real quick and tell me what I'm not even a dermatologist, and you're asking me to look at a mole. And you do a lot for your family members. Do these street side consultations, help them. But even while we are struggling with our own health issues, we're struggling with our own mental issues, we're struggling with so many things. The question is, who takes care of you? Who is taking care of you? So let's go right into it. Our special guest is here. And he was on last week, but not everybody watched the show. So if you didn't watch the show, we're going to bring him on. He will reintroduce himself for those who don't know him. But I'm very, very, very honored to have him on here, or to be the host of this show with him talking to us. He's my mentor. He's a coach to many people. He has a wealth of knowledge. He is a retired healthcare professional, but once a healthcare professional, you're always one at heart because you can't help who you are. So I'm going to bring him to the virtual stage and help me welcome to the stage Mr. Levi Mboni. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Sagi, and happy Thursday to you.
Happy Thursday. That's our famous line, right? Happy Thursday. Happy whatever day it is, because every day is a happy day.
Absolutely. There are no bad days here. Absolutely.
Exactly. Welcome, welcome. And
Thank you.
now this is gonna become familiar because we're gonna be doing this very often. So people should get used to seeing these faces and and many more faces. But before we go into it, for those who don't know you, please reintroduce yourself to them. However, you want people to know you when they see you on the street, so they know you're not AI.
Well, my name is Levi Mboni, and I'm absolutely not AI, right? So I am a retired hospice nurse. I love to say retired hospice nurse rather than nursing in general because I took that specialty for a specific reason. I saw how much, end of life patients needed care above the normal care. Because when you lost hope, everything is almost gone. So I love saying that I'm a retired hospice nurse because the very 9 last years of my nursing career were spent in hospice. And now, I'm a financial professional executive chairman with GFI, which is called Global Financial Impact. We took our care from the bedside now to the main street, helping healthcare professionals bridge that financial literacy gap because these individuals work extremely hard, but when it comes to their finances, they're not anywhere close. And so we want to make sure that we can bridge that gap. And that's why I'm here today to talk about what we have in the pipeline.
Yeah. And we forgot the second F in the five F's, family. He's a family man. We go
Yeah,
straight to the finances.
yeah, yeah,
All right. Welcome, sir. It's really good to have you again. So, my first question for you is we just had an event last Thursday, when the day we actually launched this podcast.
yeah.
We had an event in Houston. What are your thoughts about that event? How it went? How are you feeling? Just let's know how you feel.
I mean, sometimes you lack the choice of what to express a feeling about something, but I can tell you, mind blowing is understatement, right? We took an upscale, very very upscale location. For those who know the Thompson Hotel, having that experience at the rooftop where we can see the whole city of Houston was beautiful, and the camaraderie we created, the environment was cozy and everything. But most importantly is that that was the debut of our healthcare division, right? That was the debut of where we wanted to tell the whole world, the whole world about what we're doing here uh, in GFI healthcare division, which individuals that came, you always know how good of an event is based on the feedback that you're getting, and the feedback is have not stopped coming. So I'm right now fire up to go to the next level. Super
Yeah.
excited for that event. Yeah.
Yes, it was something to remember because again, when you have people who have something in common, when they come together and one person is sharing an experience, it highlights your experiences or it reminds you about why you can have that, you can come to the table and have a conversation with these people and network with them, and you just felt the energy in there, and people who even had never met had something to talk about with each
Yes.
other. They could connect on some level, and that's why we're creating this space so healthcare workers don't just hang out there and feel lost, but you have somewhere that you can call home, and that's what the healthcare division will be about. So you had already started. You always start with the hospice nurse thing. So you can't help it. It's part of you.
Yep.
Apart from being a retired hospice nurse, why is it really close to your heart that, because I know this has been a long time coming, why is it really close to your heart that, not just because of that, why is it healthcare professionals that is drawing you, or you're wanting to create this space for them? You've kind of talked about it, but just expand a little bit more on this. Why are we creating this space for them?
So, healthcare professionals in general are givers. They spend all their time giving, taking care of others. And sometimes they don't even know themselves how much they drain to take care of these patients. Being one of them, I'll tell you that just the patient care, I love patient care. The patient care alone, it's just so fulfilling. However, family dynamics come in the way every single time. And that sometimes can drain these healthcare professionals even more. Being a hospice nurse, I saw it firsthand where healthcare professionals that have retired are struggling from an economic standpoint. I saw myself through them. I remember having a nurse as a patient who said, Levi, I put in 35 years in nursing. I started in my, and she was only 68. She was dying at 68. And she said she put 35 years of her life in nursing before she fell sick. Just imagine that. But from an economic standpoint, she had nothing to show for. And I said, you know, these individuals deserve way more than what they're having. And
Mhm.
so that's why I'm saying if we can just create a platform where these individuals can get taken care of from a financial standpoint, they can get taken care of in general, they can have a common place where they they can come and breed ideas, a common place where they can have like-minded conversations. That's why what we the mixer we had last week was fundamental because you had physicians, you had pharmacists, you had PTs and OTs and nurses all in the same place, right? They can talk about the ER, they have a common conversation beside the finances. And so we want that family, which is the second F, we want that healthcare family to be bigger, and everyone should know that, each one have their back. That's why I'm super passionate about creating an environment like that, where healthcare workers can come and voice their concerns, right? You're going to be voicing your concerns at home. Your spouse is working completely in a different profession. They don't even understand that language.
Mhm.
You just feel like you're the nagging spouse,
Yeah.
right? But that environment, healthcare professionals understand.
Yeah, and it's not about competition. It's not one of those situations where night shift is blaming day shift, or this medicine didn't get passed because night shift they're sleeping the whole time, and you're always during report. The first 5 minutes is gossip. You're gossiping about the patient or somebody else. We know how that goes, but this environment is about getting us better and improving people, and again, having those conversations that are very essential in our profession. And so it kind of links me to my next question. If you What would have happened if you had this information while you were at the bedside? I'm talking about going backwards a few years back. If you had what you were offering right now to healthcare professionals, how different would your life have been?
Oh wow. Funny enough, you're asking that because my quest to learn money was growing every day. When I used to work in the emergency room, there was nothing. I wasn't even thinking. But working on the oncology unit, I wasn't thinking. It was just patient care. Soon as I went to hospice, everything changed. Why? Because I keep seeing myself through my patients individuals that have worked hard all their lives
Mhm.
and they're at this point and economically they're devastated. I'll see myself through that. The the only good news is that there were individuals that were doing well on the other side of the spectrum, a small size. And so I therefore knew that there was a disparity. There was something missing somewhere.
Mhm.
I hated the thought that I could end up like one of these patients who have nothing to show for. So I spent more time talking to the individuals that made it to find out what that difference is. So I'll say that during that process, that quest just kept me learning, just kept me learning. To say that I might have had the information, but I might not have used it if I
Mhm.
didn't go through that experience, which is why we're calling out this healthcare professional because they hear this information and they're not using it. You know why? They haven't gone through that experience. They don't know what is at the end of the tunnel.
Mhm.
But because I was seeing and I experienced what was going at the end of the tunnel every single day, that's why I'm magnifying it now as an educational approach to
Mhm.
make sure that people don't get there and feel full of regret like other
Yeah.
patients. So I'll say this, that if I had that information at that time, timing is everything. I probably wouldn't have used it.
Mhm.
But the experience is what magnify the value. And that's why I'm going city to city, right? Preaching this financial education for
Yeah.
people to make small changes,
Yeah.
have a completely different outcome down the road.
It makes a big difference. And I posted a video this morning for those who are on my social media, just talking to healthcare professionals again that we need to pay attention. I know we're busy. I know that we have no time. We work double shifts and we have to pick up that extra shift, or we feel like we have to pick up a second job or a third job. But we're just asking for a few minutes of your time to pay attention to this information, because this is coming from, someone who was around people with money, accounting. I did accounting, but I didn't ask the right questions when I was in that space. If I had asked the right questions, maybe I would have known some of this information. I left that space, went to the healthcare, and and then this information is finding me now. So maybe fast forward or going backwards, if I had asked the right questions, I might have known a little bit more than what I knew at the time. So we're here now saying that as healthcare professionals, we've discovered some information. We don't want to wait 10 years to divulge this to the community or to our community, which is the healthcare professional community. We want you to know it in real time. As we're learning this information, learn it with us so that you're not falling behind and feeling like you guys had this information and you kept it to yourself. So pay attention, guys, healthcare professionals. You're busy, but listen up, open those ears and listen up. And so, speaking of that, who are we reaching out to? Are we just grabbing everybody and their grandma and everybody, or who do we want in this division? Because we have to be very intentional about this division. Who are we looking for?
Well, if you're looking at participating in the healthcare division, you need to first of all be one of us. You need to have it. You need to be that individual that care about others. It's not just about the money. If it were the money, most of us would not even be on this podcast. We've been blessed. If you need to have that heart of goal and saying that if the community of healthcare professionals are coming out to share a crusade, to campaign on our colleagues who are giving so much to take care of themselves economically, then you're one of us. You're one of us. If you're that individual who is always talking about it's just the money, you're not one of us. Even if you have that scrub on you, you're not one of us. I say this because I remember back in my days when I used to be a nurse manager. If somebody underperforming, somebody didn't take up the client appropriately, and you reach out and I hear they say, well, how much are they even paying me?
Mm,
I've had a chance to pull people to the back and say, dare you never say that. You have two options: take the assignment or you don't.
mhm,
Period. Because when you have somebody that is vulnerable from a medical standpoint, your ultimate goal is to make sure that they recover, you treat them well, irrespective of whether you're getting paid or not.
Mhm.
Those are the people that I'm looking here. I'm looking for those people that say, "What, I'm gonna learn these concepts and share, whether I get paid or not." The, the, the good news is that it pays ridiculously. When I came into the industry, the honest truth is that I never really understood the compensation of how we get paid if you help somebody. For me, it was almost like I'm just going to go out there and scream to everyone to understand what their options are as they navigate the world, because across the board, when you talk to healthcare professionals, it's Roth IRA, it's 401k, it's 403b, it's TSP if they work for the VAs. That's it.
Mhm.
Nothing else. They don't even have enough money to trigger the system for to reach a financial advisor. And so if you're one of those who have a heart of giving and you think you can serve people from an economic standpoint, if you understand what we're doing, then you're one of us. Those are the people that we're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very important. I wanted to highlight that so that people don't think that it's just, just whoever bring your bad habits from somewhere else and and come and flood our division. No, you were wanting you to bring the ethical values that you have, the skills that you have, the talent that you have, but also because we have a lot of integrity with what we do. We want to make sure that we're doing the right thing every time, not sometime, not half time. Every time you're doing the right thing, where you can sleep at night, you're not looking over your shoulder, because we get licensed to do what we're doing. Just like you, as a healthcare professional, you get licensed to do what you're doing. We get licensed here, and we want to make sure that we're using that license the right way and doing the best thing for the client, not just because of the dollar signs. So we have an event coming up this Saturday. That's our first, after the launch, that's our first official event. It's going to be in Maryland. Let me put up the flyer here, and then Coach, just talk to us about it. What should people look forward to at this event in Maryland?
Excellent. This is going to be our official first ever session of bringing healthcare professionals together to start a financial literacy program. The expectation this week is that they're going to learn about the they're just going to look through the entire curriculum of what we're going to be teaching in the series of classes that we're going to do, from a foundation standpoint to asset accumulation to some tax saving strategies to asset preservation, living trust and wills, which most people don't have. We want to provide them step by step education on how to put their financial household or their financial structures or the instruments of finances into place. A lot of people have no idea. I usually tell people that if you have no financial education, you're literally walking on eggshells with your finances because they have no idea how brittle their finances are. Most people are one or two paycheck away from filing bankruptcy, not because they're not working, it's because they don't have the structures in place that can help them if they add a work or they get sick. So another thing I want to talk about, Sage, think about it. Most or all healthcare professionals have acquired skills doing the work they do. And so they use those skills to render services and then they pay them a salary. They render services, they pay them a salary. And so I go around, making the logical argument that your skills and your salary are kind of merged in a way.
Mhm.
And that if one of them should go away, if your skills should go away from a medical condition, cancer, stroke, heart attack, end stage renal failure, or you get hit by a car and you're paralyzed waist down, if those skills can no longer perform, what happens to the income?
It
The
goes away.
income is gone. And so having a financial education 101 where we can separate those skills from your income and give you a chance where if those skills were to completely go away, the income source is not compromised, Those are things people need to know.
Mhm.
We have a lot of people in the community that have experienced a medical condition like that. How do you explain the fact that a 41-year-old had a stroke? How do you explain the fact that a 42-year-old had end-stage renal failure and then is on dialysis every day and have no energy to work? Yet they still have to maintain a roof over their head. They still need to put food on the table for kids. So coming to this initial workshop is to have that foundation, understand what we're going. And I encourage everyone so that they can have the classes all, they can follow the series so they can have their financial household in place. So I'm truly excited, looking forward to this event. The good news is that it's going to be a beautiful environment. We're going to have food. We're going to celebrate them. It's going to be a red carpet environment. It's an environment where people want to be, right? Which takes them out from the bedside care for a minute. So that's why I'm excited about this event coming up.
Don't miss it, guys. If you're in the DMV area, driving distance, you should be at this event. I just dropped the registration link in the comments. And if you need it, need me to send it to you, still reach out to me, but just click on that link. The reason we need people to register is because we need a head count. If we're going to provide food, we want to make sure that, we're providing food for the right number of people. Of course, we can always eat off of each other's plate, but wouldn't you want your own plate? you know? So we want to have a head count. And because we're in a professional environment, think about it. When we're at our jobs and they send something out for us to RSVP, we do it instantly. So why should we not bring that to this space? We want to keep that professionalism. We want to make sure that when you come, we can greet you by your name. So we're not, looking around to figure out who you are, and just come business casual, red carpet. The cameras will be there. If you've never had your close-up picture, that's when you get your close-up picture. You're looking for a professional picture, you get it that day. You meet some great-minded people. You never know, you could network with someone, you could strike some deals in there outside of what we're doing there, and you just never know. And so don't miss this event, guys. It's huge. It's going to be great. Click on the link, register, send it to someone, even if a healthcare worker who needs to be here. So someone that we don't know, send it to them so they can show up at this event and get this information, because nobody can translate to you what what they heard in that room. Nobody, because they will do a disservice to you and they'll water down the information. Some people it'll get lost in translation. So come there, hear it directly from the professionals. That way you know that you got the right information. And then we'll kind of wrap it up here in a bit. But one thing that I wanted to ask Coach is, apart from the financial knowledge that people will get in this space, or even through these workshops and everything, let's highlight some other benefits that people can get out of here, even when it relates to, like, community, their personal development, things like that. Just zoom in on that a little bit so people don't think that we're only talking about money here. It's not always about money. There are other benefits.
Yeah. So if you look at that's a great question because if you look at the way we theme our events, we call it leadership development and financial literacy. The reason why we call it leadership development and financial literacy is that people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to go through leadership programs to increase their capacity to handle a little bit more in the community. We provide that education. We provide a leadership piece here for free, completely for free, complimentary, right? And so leadership is a big deal. And people must be thinking, what exactly is leadership and stuff like that? Just leading your own household is a big deal. There are three different levels of leadership, and we provide education on all three levels, complementary.
Mhm.
First of all, we said you need to know how to lead yourself.
Mhm.
90% of people show up at events, show up you know, at meetings late. You know why? Leadership is broken. They don't even know it. And they make it so normal that they show up at an event late saying that, oh, it was traffic. Oh, there was an accident. Leadership makes you factor every single thing. Think about it. I go over 200 flights a year. I have never missed a flight. But individuals have one event, they miss that flight. You know why? Leadership. It's all about leadership. And time management is a core factor in leadership.
Yep.
So we help them at that level, help them eliminate what I call personal drama. Small things that make a huge difference. And then you have level two where you have to lead followers. You have a bunch of people following you and looking up to you. Can you lead them? And of course, the third level is where leaders lead leaders, because where everyone is a leader in the room. How do you become a deal breaker in a room of full of other leaders? These are part of these are steps that individuals can take to develop their skills here with us, and is complementary as part of that. Look at our core values, the 5 F's, right? Our faith. And when we talk about faith, some people misconstrue that concept of faith. We just want you to increase your belief level in whatever you believe in. And if it's spiritual faith, will help you too. Because most people don't have that spiritual faith. When we talk about family, I'm a hospice nurse. And I'm going to tell you this, whether you like it or not, it's going to come to pass. At the end of the day, it's going to be family. It doesn't matter what you do. You can have a dysfunctional family. You can throw tantrums. You can hate each other. When it boils down to this is it, everything in your life is about family. So you may as well fix it now. And so we'll help individuals, look at the amount of divorces that are happening out there. No human being is perfect. And so we help individuals deal with their relations, understanding that everyone is full of flaws. Right? We help with that. When it comes to finances, of course, the third F is finances. We want to make sure that you can make enough to contribute into communities, contribute into society. So again, most people are good-hearted. They want to give, but they don't have enough.
Yeah.
And so when we can help them give enough, think about contribution. My wife and I set up that we're going to go sponsor 1,000 children. How are we going to do that if we're not blessed? And people have those things that are fulfilling to them. Want to give back to their church. They want to give to their community, but they don't make enough.
Yeah.
And so when we structure those finances properly, you can have enough to give.
Yeah.
Right? Fitness, we check on each other every day. We make sure that, right? And then it's fun. You're talking about having fun and environment where you don't have to CYA like in a hospital setting, right? Like you said, everybody in the practice CYA, because they always concerned, worried about somebody doing something that might throw them off. Not here.
Yeah.
Here is brotherhood, a sisterhood. It's a different environment. And so those and more are some of those things and you get a broadband education on how to handle your whole family asset. How about setting up kids for college? How about making sure that kids don't go through what we're going through? How about having assets? People don't even know how to accumulate assets. They buy one house, they say, oh, this mortgage is too much, because nobody is teaching them on how to not even, So take, for example, Sagi, we have what we call DAP. A DAP program is helping individuals pay their mortgage in 9 years. Because of what? The mortgage, the interest amount. People look at the interest rate, but the interest amount is a killer. So even if you have a small interest rate, the interest amount is going to be magnified because you're paying for 30 years. And so we help individuals not only have that lower interest rate, but pay a smaller interest amount. Just imagine you having a comprehensive plan where you can pay your mortgage in 9 years versus 30 years. So these are things that we teach in the community and up in the community.
And
So
that people will value, that, and it's practical. These things
correct,
are practical,
correct,
not concepts that, that are abstract. These are
correct.
practical,
A practical,
concepts.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
And
all
when you,
can apply those, right?
yeah.
So think about me. I came from hospice. I have no financial knowledge. To see myself within a short time frame now, completely financially free, paid off my mortgages, pay multiple property. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying that financial education separated me from the pack
Mm,
150%. And that's why I just feel like super blessed. And I said, I just want to be a blessing to
mm,
others if they're willing to listen. That's the point.
mhm. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I
that's
help
that's it.
about
You
this.
can't drag the horse to the stream and force it force it to drink, right?
Yeah, you could drag it there, but forcing it to drink is going to be another challenge. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
when you talk about giving back, so on Sunday, our missions committee at church actually shared something. They do missions in Africa.
yeah,
I go to a multicultural church, and they do specifically in Liberia, and the leader of that missions committee, I mean, it just went straight to my heart when she was sharing the videos and stories about it. Basically, what they do is they put kids together for C-sections for pregnant women, and there are times when she has to she's the one who has to make the decision if they need to do surgery on someone or a baby, or she has to make that decision. And she said that because the funds are not there, enough funds, there are times you have to make that hard decision that no, we cannot take care of this. So you're basically, someone's life is in your hands. And she said, how many times do you think I've said no to somebody? She said zero, because she went over budget. She keeps going over budget of the committee, like 9,000 over budget, 10,000 over budget, because her heart is, she cannot have the heart to say no, that don't do surgery on this person. She was like, I'll better get in trouble. It's rather I get in trouble. So that was one of the things that really hit me. I was like, these are things that I personally would want to do. But that income, that salary coming in every 2 weeks, or that salary coming in monthly, is never going to be enough to spare so that I can do charitable things like that. Because she shared a picture of a 3-year-old who was one of those babies that she almost said no to. She needed surgery when she was an infant. Now, fast forward to 2025, that baby is 3 years old. So imagine if she had said no because of that, because the funds are not there. But what the reason I'm sharing this story is that as healthcare professionals, there are things that we want to do, link to remind us of our profession when let's say we've transitioned out of that and we've retired, the things you want to do. But if you're not able to take care of your own personal finance, how are you going to go out and do those things that your heart's desire really wants you to take care of? And that's one of the benefits I really wanted to emphasize on the giving back to the community benefit, because to me, it's a big one, especially for healthcare professionals, if they're anything like me. So I just wanted to share that story. Yeah,
thank you. And
yeah,
giving is fulfilling.
yeah,
Giving
it
is very,
is.
very fulfilling.
Yeah,
I've one of my mentors said at one time that if you think money is nothing, it's because you've never given it away, especially to somebody who needs it.
it's it.
And
Yeah,
that is the truth.
yeah,
That's the truth. Well, Sagi, as we round up here, I
yes,
really want to take a moment and call out to our healthcare professionals.
yes,
We're talking about DMV. I call them nationwide. I have people flying out of California. I have people coming out of New York. I have people coming out of North Carolina for this event. So people are coming all over the US to participate in a healthcare division event, the very first event. And we encourage everyone who is in the DMV, the DC, Virginia, Maryland area to show up this Saturday, because some people don't have the physical flyer. Some
mhm.
people don't, so they don't know the address is at the back of that flyer. But I can still, put that address here is 9881. So 9881 Broken Land Parkway. 9881 Broken Land Parkway. And the
Yeah,
city is,
I'll put it in the chat. Yeah,
yes, 9881 Broken Land Parkway, Columbia, Maryland. Columbia, Maryland. The zip code is 21046. So 9881 Broken Land Parkway, Columbia, Maryland, 21046. We're really encouraging everyone to come out and experience something they never experienced before, because we intend to make sure that not only we provide this education on Saturday, but we want it to be a series of education
mhm.
that will help them put all their finances together. I'm going to leave you guys with a couple of questions. And if these questions make sense to you, then we want to see you out there. Number one, if you had a choice, will you want a retirement by design or default? Will you want a retirement by design or default? The answer is design. Who has designed one for you? Question number two, if you had a choice, will you want a taxable retirement or a tax-free retirement? Will you want a taxable retirement or tax-free retirement? And sometimes when we talk about tax-free, people think it's a gimmick, but that is not true. I have a book here on the topic of tax-free retirement. It says tax-free retirement. It's a book. Carry an ISBN number. So when we talk about tax-free retirement, it exists. But because people don't take out the time to really look deeply into how can I get tax-free retirement, they think it's a gimmick. Right? Number three, I just have four questions. Number three, do you have a living trust? Do you even know the difference between a living trust and a will? And number four, do you understand the impact of probate court system on your family asset? Do you understand the impact on probate court system on your family asset? If any of these four questions, the answer on 1 on 7 is less than 5 from a knowledgeable standpoint, you need to find your way into that room on Saturday so you can get this and more answer.
Yes. Thank you, sir. This was good. I'm excited because we're going to be doing a lot of these. We'll have some guests coming on where, those of you who have already seen, I've probably shared already, the GFI Healthcare Division has an IG page. Follow it because there'll be tips coming up. There'll be, when we have events, we'll advertise on there. We'll actually transition over to a GFI Healthcare Division YouTube channel. So for now, we're borrowing mine, and then we're gonna launch the division's, platform and everything. So just stay tuned, and guys, this is gonna be huge. So if you're still doubting, please don't be tiptoeing around. Just come check us out. Just
Straight.
come check us out. Don't tiptoe around. Don't just walk around on the sidewalk, act like you can't look, you're not looking, you are. Just come on in.
Yeah.
Red carpet in Maryland. Be there. Have fun, take pictures, mingle with some like-minded people, and have fun. So until next time, thank you, Coach, for being here. Thank you for the wealth of knowledge and the nuggets, and we appreciate you. So you guys stay blessed, and we'll see you guys soon. Take
Thank you, Sergey. Appreciate you. God bless. Bye bye.
God bless. Bye.